Hi, this is Chuck Chatham. I'm coming to you from beautiful downtown Royal, Arkansas, just outside Hot Springs, Arkansas, and in growing zone 7B. I have a number of figs that I just wanted to share with you today. Now, the trees that I've got here that we're going to be looking at are all young trees. They're not, they're basically, the oldest tree that I have right now is only 3 years old. And I have two of those. Those are Chicago Hardies, and that's what I'm producing most of the figs that I'm getting right now from. One that we want to look at here, this is an Olympian fig tree. This is located in a pot on my back patio. And look at the size of this beautiful, beautiful fig here. Now that is a lovely, lovely fig. Now that is getting soft. Oh yes, it's getting soft. It's almost ready to pick. Not quite. I'm going to give it one more day. It's just starting to droop a little bit, and by tomorrow it should be just absolutely perfect. So I'll find out if the Olympian actually has the peach flavor that they say it's supposed to have. Now I'm going to pause this for a moment while I walk around to the other area. Now this fig tree here is a golden rainbow. Now this tree is 1 year old, or I'd say it's 1 year old. It was started this year. I purchased rooted cuttings back in the spring, and the reason I wanted to show you this one is you saw about the height of it. It's about 3.5 feet tall, but look right down here. Look at that beautiful fig. Now it's green, but it is developing. It will mature this year, and this is from a tree that's less than a year old. Now this tree here is actually is almost 2 years old. I got it in the spring of last year. This is a variety that's called a Violet de Bordeaux, and the reason for the name is it produces very dark colored, almost black figs. You can see a couple of them in this picture, but look at this one here. Look at that. Isn't that a beauty? That thing is, it's big. I'm going to guess it's probably around 40 grams. It's really nice. I thought that this tree would produce small figs, but looks like they're pretty good size. Okay, the next one. Now this is a very remarkable fig. This fig tree, I started this. I received this as a cutting back in late January or February of this year, and I rooted it. I have 3 of them, and they are so remarkable that I put all 3 of them in the ground. They're supposed to be very winter hardy. Look down at the bottom here at the number of figs on this tree. Keep in mind that we're looking at a tree here that's only 8 months old. Absolutely unbelievable, the vigor of that thing and how well it's growing. This is an Olympian. It's coming along well. It doesn't have anything mature on it. This I made a cutting off of the other Olympian that I showed you that has a big fig maturing on it. I made a cutting off of that one, and this is the one, and it's got a bunch of little tiny figs. This one, I'm not really sure what this is. I bought it from, it's almost 4 feet tall. I bought it in April of this year from the Arkansas Folk Center up in Mountain View, Arkansas. That's 200 miles north of me. I figured that if that sucker can produce figs and grow up there, it ought to do well down here, down in the central part of the state, since that's up toward the northern part of the state. And it does have a bunch of little bitty figs on it. You see a couple of little figlets figlets there if I'm aiming this thing right. Yeah, one right there I think you can probably see. They're very small. I doubt if they will mature this year, but nevertheless it's showing remarkable vigor and doing very, very well. This one is my Chicago Hardy. This is the tree that I have been getting most of my figs off of this summer, that started maturing them all just about 3 weeks ago. You can see several almost ripe right there, and here's more, and you can see the number of figs that are on this branch. It's just absolutely covered. I have one more that I got at the same time, and then I have a number of others that I grew as cuttings off of these two. They're not producing anything this year, but they probably will next year. This one is another Violet de Bordeaux. It's doing well, but it doesn't have any figs on it this year. I have one in a pot that has one fig that looks like it will mature this year. They say about this tree is it's supposed to have really, really good tasting figs, but they do mature kind of late in the year. So we'll see as this progresses along. This one is another of the Peter's honey, to just show you that that was not a fluke. Look at the figs that are maturing on this little tree. Keep in mind, once again, that this tree is only 8 months old. It's not even 1 full year old. And it's got all that kind of figs. Some of those, the larger ones, very likely will actually mature this year and ripen. But that we'll have to see that. The next one, this is a golden rainbow. Once again, this is a 3-foot tall tree. It's one that I purchased as a cutting back in January of this year and rooted it, and it's doing well out here. Doesn't have any figs on it. One of its sister plants out here does have a couple of figs, but this one only has some little tiny figlets that are developing on it. Just a small handful of them, not very many, but it does have some. You can tell the figlets, the ones that are actually figs, because there will be 2 little bumps at the root junctures. And you see this has 2 jumps, so one of those will be another stem, and the other one will be actually be a fig. And on the one right below that, you can see it's also got 2 on it. So it's trying to develop figs. That won't have a chance in the world this year, but maybe next year it'll produce well. Now this one here is a tree that some say is the same thing as the golden rainbow. Now whether it is or not, I don't know. Maybe I'll have a clue in 3 or 4 years, because I have these 2 planted right next to one another. Now this one has more little figlets on it. You can probably see there. But this is called a yellow long neck. And it's got little developing figs on it. And once again, a reason I chose this is because of the fact that it's supposed to do well in colder climates. This being located in zone 7B, I figured, hey, if I can find something that'll do well up in it. Now the person that had the Peter's honey and also this is a guy by the name of Lou Monte. He has lots and lots of videos on YouTube about his figs, and if you search Lou Monte figs, that's M-O-N-T-I figs, you'll see literally hundreds of videos that he's made about his figs, and he loves to eat them. So if you want to watch an old dude about my age out eating figs, check with Lou. You'll see something there. Now this is another fig that I got put out here recently. If you look down in there, you're going to see some developing figs on it. It's got a number of them down in here. Like some others, I can't tell you that they're actually going to mature, actually going to ripen this year or not. But this is unique because this tree, I purchased this tree and 2 others. I had 4 cuttings that I got. This is a Naples dark. And you can see the figs that are on it. I purchased this in the end of February of this year and rooted it. And you can see what it's doing out here. It's over 3 feet tall. It's over 3 feet tall. It's growing like a weed. It's just absolutely fantastic. I hope you've enjoyed the little tour of my young fig trees, and maybe you'll be encouraged that figs can be grown to the point that they actually will produce fruit in a very short period of time. You don't necessarily have to wait 5 to 8 years for a fruit tree to mature. If you've enjoyed this, then click the like down there and the subscribe button, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Bye-bye.